the Royal Beach Club. Is it worth it? Let's find out. Okay, first let's try with a cabana. Oh, that's Mexico's GDP. No. Okay, let's try without. Oh, that can't be right. Did they move a decimal? Maybe that's in yen. No. 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 Okay, let's see if I can combo together a bunch of things and maybe remove some things and really look for a big sale and maybe a special and really do some work here. Maybe.
I'm Tom, she's Daniela. We're kind of empty nesters now, and we love cruising. So together we figure we're gonna get in as many as we can while we can. And we're getting there. Okay, so I'm going to try to do a real simple, quick video here, getting to the meat of the question. Is Royal Beach Club in Nassau worth it? But first, let's talk about the Royal Beach Club itself and our experience there. So you pull into Nassau and you will most likely see from the pier side of the ship the 4 different ferries that are ready to go about halfway down the pier. It's just a short walk and a short ferry ride over to the entrance of Royal Beach Club. It is a nice spot with beautiful beaches, gorgeous water, plenty of beach chairs and umbrellas, very well designed and built in typical Royal Caribbean fashion. Quite similar to CocoCay, which is going to be the bar we're going to measure it up against. There are 3 different spots: the Party Cove, Chill Beach, and Family Beach. Each one of them has its own pool with swim-up bars, other bars, and eating areas with restrooms. The pools are also heated when they need to be, which was good as it was chilly in Nassau the day we went. So the Chill Beach is supposed to be the relaxing adults kind of area. The Party Cove, well, that speaks for itself. DJ booth, pool with 2 swim-up bars for partying, and the Family Beach more for families. We learned early on that doesn't really mean anything, and anyone can just go anywhere. There's no rules about that. We went to Chill Beach as it seemed to have the nicest pool for us, and loads of families with their kids decided, hey, that's a good pool, we're coming over there. So the intention of the neighborhoods isn't really enforced or policed in any way, just so you're prepared for that. The Chill Beach is not the solarium. Now, each area has cabanas available too, each one of them allowing you to bring a maximum amount of people once you book the cabana. Each one of those people gets full access with food and drinks too. Now, the cabanas are not cheap by any means, at least $2,500 or $3,000 US. So even if you max out the people in them, you're looking at $300 per person at least. And speaking of not cheap, there's even an ultimate family cabana that will set you back a cool $10,000 US. That's like 4 cruises. Why would you do that? Now that is the biggest problem with the Royal Beach Club: price. When it is at full price, it is absolutely not worth it in my opinion. At regular price, it's about $200 to $250 US per person to go in and enjoy the place with drinks and food. Now there's the first hurdle. It is Royal's Beach Club, so everyone's under the impression it's supposed to work like CocoCay, where the food is free and if you have the drinks package, it works there. No, it does not. And that calls for some explanation. The deal there is that Royal doesn't outright own the beach club. It was a joint agreement between Royal and the Bahamian government, so the Bahamian government needs their piece of the pie. If Royal didn't charge anything and the food and drinks were free if you had the drinks package, how does the Bahamian government get any money out of that? Royal certainly isn't going to give them a chunk of the cruise fare, so they had to come up with another idea. So the solution was an admission fee. Now here's another thing worth noting because of that arrangement between Royal Caribbean and the Bahamian government. Part of that deal means that a lot of the workers there are Bahamian people, not Royal Caribbean staff, working on contract through another company, not Royal. Because of that, they don't get tipped through the tipping pool, the one where we get charged gratuities every single day. That means if you want to tip your servers, you need to bring some small bills with you, which is kind of awkward if you're there to swim in the pools and on the beaches and stuff. But that's the only way it works. Oh, another tip that I'm going to give you too, because it's important, is make sure you have your photo ID with you as well as your SeaPass card, even if you're only going to the Royal Beach Club. I found that one out the hard way and barely got away with it. I brought my SeaPass and even asked if I needed my passport at the ferry terminal, and I was told, no, you don't need anything more than your SeaPass card. What I didn't know was, when the ferry brings you back at the end of your trip, it takes you to the end of the pier where all the shops are, because you gotta go walk through that. And I get that. That's part of the strategy, no problem whatsoever. But because of that, you gotta go back in with your photo ID as well as your SeaPass card. Fortunately, I had pictures of our passports on my phone. Otherwise, that would have been a lot of trouble. So just keep that in mind. Bring your photo ID with you, even if you're only going to Royal Beach Club. So now let's get down to it. The brass tacks, as they say. Is the Royal Beach Club worth it? I think the best way to talk about this is to compare the Royal Beach Club with CocoCay, so you can really see the value of it and compare it with something you probably already know and have already been to. They're both well built. They both have great staff, excellent service, and all the things you need. In that case, they're kind of equal. But CocoCay just has more. It has more things to do with plenty of beaches, plenty of lagoons, the huge pool with the swim-up bar. There are 3 different places to eat at the beach club, and they all have the same main things to eat at all of them. CocoCay has 9 different places to eat and a bunch of different options. CocoCay has the giant water park where you'd pay an extra $100 or so to go in there, but you have so many things to do in there. They have Hideaway Beach for adults with no kids in there for an extra $100 or so per person. Now I get it, there isn't enough space on the Royal Beach Club to have a giant water park. I'm not asking for that. Here's the big point of that. CocoCay is just bigger and better than the Royal Beach Club in pretty much every way. And the most you're going to pay extra is $100 or so per person to get into the water park or the Adults Hideaway Beach. But you absolutely can go to CocoCay without spending anything extra and still have more to do and experience than the Royal Beach Club. The Royal Beach Club, while nice, is less than CocoCay, and somehow they want to charge you the most you're ever going to see in the excursions tab in your planning section. At full price, it's just not worth it. In fact, here is possibly the most damning statement I can make. I was not going to go to Royal Beach Club even though I wanted to, until a big sale came around, and once I rearranged my purchases by canceling a couple of things that I'd made months ago and then buying a bundle that put it all back together and put it on sale, it turns out I was able to go for $50 total for 2 people. Only then did I decide that was good enough. When we got there, it was so cold because it was New Year's, the only thing we could really do was stay in the heated pool, and we could only do that for an hour and a half until our fingers got all pruny, and then we left. That was it. So the only way I would recommend doing the beach club is if you get a great deal, like $50 for 2 people, and the weather is great, which is hard to predict. That's it. Other than that, I'd say no. In fact, this is going to lead me to a bit of a commentary on Royal Caribbean and a worry I have. I love Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. They got me into this, and I've only ever cruised with them up to now. But I can't help but feel like Royal is starting to get a little too greedy lately. It's been creeping in here and there with increased pressure and sales on the ship, and I'm not the only one who's noticed that. You're sitting there enjoying the meal, and one of the poor staff members is given the job of having to come up and interrupt your vacation to try and sell more specialty dining. I hate that. You have my money. While I'm enjoying my vacation, do not approach me to squeeze more out of me.
Now, many of us understand where this came from. The cruise industry took massive damage in COVID, took on unheard of debt levels. They dug a big hole to try and survive and keep moving forward. So they got to dig out of that hole. And how are they going to try and dig out of it? By squeezing as much as they can, getting as much as they can in order to try and fix the problem. But they haven't told us how big the problem is. They haven't told us where they're progressing to. They haven't told us how well they're doing when it comes to trying to dig out of this hole. So because they haven't really given us a timeline and given us an idea of how bad the damage is, we will never know when it's better and when we should stand up and say, all right, that's enough now. Enough with the squeezing. Enough with the trying to get blood from a stone, enough with the bothering me over and over and over again to try and get every nickel out of me that you can. I'd like to go back to the way cruising was, back when we fell in love with it, thank you very much. We don't know when that is. They think we will just keep accepting that this is the way it has to be because they're still struggling. So are they still struggling? We don't know, but we can make some assumptions based on some information. And there's some interesting information to take a look at right here.
Now this is worth taking a look at, and I don't know if it really means anything, but to me it makes me at least go, huh. Royal Caribbean's share price. Before COVID, at its highest, it was $133.19. They were significantly ahead of all other cruise stocks. When COVID hit, they fell down to a low of $34.50, a heavy blow. Now, you might be under the impression that they're still trying to work their way back up to normal. That was a huge amount of damage. That's why they're squeezing us so much. That would be understandable. Well, it would be understandable if their share price hadn't already recovered and hit $135 in late March of 2024. Now, if that made you go, huh, that's a little disappointing, I didn't know that. Wait till you see this part. They not only recovered, they kept going. And the shares hit a price of $363 in August of 2025, more than 2.5 times the highest they were before COVID. To me, that's what makes it hard to sympathize with the extra sales pushes and charging $250 per person to go to the Royal Beach Club. Now, I sincerely hope they're going to reduce that sales pressure and overcharging soon. Unfortunately, though, when a corporation is run by a board of directors that are compensated with great stock options, that same board of directors that makes all the decisions makes a lot of money when the share prices are high. So I doubt it's going to change any, which is disappointing. Now, I'm not giving up on Royal or Celebrity yet, but I am looking around now, which is something I wouldn't have done a couple of years ago. That all being said, I hope this helps you out, and I hope you have an excellent cruise no matter what you decide to do. And maybe we'll see you on one in the future.